Welcome to our first CTE Awards. This is actually my name is Sal Diaz. I am one of the instructors in the automotive program. If I could have the other instructors introduce themselves real quick, just stand up and introduce.
Douglas Scott, automotive instructor.
Rex Rubino, auto instructor.
Wendy Luco, automotive.
Phone electronics.
Joseph Keen, I work in the welding department.
Design tech and electronics.
Now I want to introduce our Dean Tabiayan.
Good morning, everybody, and I'm just so honored to be here. This was my first year at PCC, and I have been so very impressed with our programs, our faculty, and most of all, their dedication to our students. They really are vested in student success. It's obvious, and it's the reason why PCC is known for what we are, right? We're the flagship of community colleges, and that's not by accident. It's due to the dedication of our faculty. I also want to thank you, the students, for entrusting us with your education, and you made a very wise choice. You are getting an excellent education. You are going to be very well prepared for the workforce. You are sought after. We're getting emails and calls daily with people looking for our students to be able to hire, and that speaks to the quality of our programs. And I'm just very excited for your futures. And to the parents and family, thank you for supporting your students as they embarked on this journey. The last 2 years, it's been a wild ride through the pandemic, and it was very difficult for students especially, but also for faculty. We had to get very creative in the ways that we were going to deliver our instruction. And once again, the faculty rose to the occasion and did it exceptionally well. So you are very well prepared. I'm excited for your futures. I hope that this won't be the end of your educational journeys, right? Learning is lifelong, and hopefully you will want to return and maybe think of new ways to keep moving forward in your life. So congratulations, well earned, very proud of you, and thank you, Sal, for putting this together and recognizing our exceptional students. So thank you.
Alright, so it's a lot easier to speak to students than it is to speak to students and their families. Alright, so Tom, I would like to invite our department chair to give a few words as well.
Thank you, Sal, and thank you. Let's give Sal another hand for putting this together. So he did this in pretty short notice, so we really appreciate that. So I wanted to read through some reflections that I had. I'd say the last 2 years have been difficult for all of us. Can I get an amen on that? It's been rough. However, for a lot of our students, it's been even more of a challenge. During the last 2 semesters or 4 semesters, our students have had to transition to online or hybrid classes. For some of these students, it's while they're working. In some cases, taking care of parents, taking care of siblings, even their own children. And the transition to actually learning online, it kind of is an unprecedented time for learning how to do time management, being able to pivot to managing a life while taking classes in ways we really hadn't imagined. And so we hold this award ceremony to celebrate the students, the work that they've done, exceptional academic work, and they've been tenacious, dedicated in their studies. But in this case, this ceremony is kind of exceptional because the students have demonstrated excellence during all of the difficulties of the pandemic, on top of everything else that's going on. The students, you've kind of shown how you can handle life's ups and downs in a really difficult time. And this has prepared you for your future. Whether you're working towards vocational work or transferring to another school, managing this is going to really strengthen you, I think, for your future. As Armine had mentioned, I want to thank all the CTE educators. You've done an amazing job of managing teaching during this time. For some teachers who've taught online regularly, this has probably not been as much of a challenge, but I'm going to speak on behalf of most of the CTE faculty who teach in lab classes where you have to have your hands on equipment. This has really been a challenge. But because we know that the hands-on components, the labs, working on cars, turning wrenches, soldering parts, all of these things, we can't teach without including those parts. And the students have been able to benefit from the faculty really being able to be dedicated to making this work during the pandemic. I want to give an extra big shout out to Wendy Luco. She put in crazy amounts of time figuring out the COVID protocols along with the other faculty. And because she knows, just like I do, that you can't teach these classes online. It doesn't work well. And so she actually was kind of the forerunner in pushing to make sure we could get back into the classrooms and into the labs. So I want to say thank you for that. It not only helped the auto students, but it also paved the way for the other programs because she was able to set these protocols in place that we could use in all the classrooms. So thank you, Wendy, for that. I really appreciate it. So all the other faculty, Sal, Doug, Sonia, Kevin, and the support techs, Rowena, Eamon isn't here, but all of you worked so hard during this time to make sure that it's the best possible experience for our students. And it's often, just as the case when we were teaching online, we didn't know what was going on in the students' lives necessarily, but you don't get to see behind the scenes all the things that are going on that the faculty are having to do at this time. And finally, certainly last but not least, I wanted to thank our dean for just doing an amazing job of helping. She is transitioning into this position at probably the craziest time you could imagine. And so she's been incredibly supportive, so I want to thank her also. So for electronics, we have 2 students who we're awarding today. The name of this award is the John W. Crow Award. It's been around for many years. This award is for students who've demonstrated leadership skills, high academic performance, and excelled in group participation in the class and lab environments. These students also demonstrate innovation that goes beyond the basic objectives of laboratory work and are pursuing a degree in an engineering field. The first electronics awardee is Juan Hernandez. Juan will be completing the last course for the Basic Digital Technician Certificate this coming fall. He's demonstrated excellence in his courses, often going above and beyond the requirements for the typical assignments. If you look at the centerpieces, the little flowers, underneath are these circuit boards, these round circuit boards. And they're actually part of each one of those was designed by a student, where for one of our final projects, we designed a clock. But Juan didn't want to follow the kind of prescribed size, shape, everything else. He wanted to make it as small as possible. So he actually made it using surface mount components, which are extremely difficult to solder, but he was able to get it to work. And that's just kind of one example of the kinds of things that Juan did. He always wanted to kind of do something above and beyond. Additionally, Juan demonstrates a maturity and dedication to his education, always has an excellent attitude, and is always willing to help and work with other students. So unfortunately, Juan is not here this morning. However, the reason he's not here is actually really exciting. I'm pleased to say he was just recently employed as a CNC operator at Wyatt Precision Machine in Long Beach. And it's a company that manufactures components for hydraulics in the aerospace industry. So as much as I wanted him to be here, he felt like he just started. He did not want to miss work. And so what an exciting thing for students to be getting jobs. That's what we're looking at, right? So I'm videoing this, so congratulations, Juan. So I'm looking forward to presenting the certificate to you next time you're on campus. So congratulations for that. And this is your certificate you'll be getting. Okay. Our second awardee in electronics is Kyle Lohman. Kyle has been the most exceptional student I've ever had in the electronics program. A sign of an exceptional student to me is someone who goes above and beyond the requirements of the homework and lab work and explores technical areas that are not taught in the classroom. He's tenacious in learning all things electronic. And if I don't have an answer to a question to a student during class time, which happens often, Kyle can usually put his hand up and say, actually, I know the answer to that. And he's willing to answer that and help students also during those class sessions. If he doesn't know the answer to something, or if I don't even know the answer to something, he's the first one to research it and find out what the answer is. And although Kyle can easily take considerable pride in his abilities, and I hope that he does, he's extremely humble and willing to work with other students to help them understand concepts that are from the most basic to the most complex. Kyle's been working as a student assistant in all my classes. He's been a huge asset, especially during the pandemic. He's been a great sounding board to me from everything from curricular development to organizing the lab and helping other students with their assignments, as I mentioned, whether in the classroom or online. Recently, Kyle's been working for Integral Microwave here in Pasadena, designing circuit boards for high reliability RF hardware for small-sat and CubeSat space applications. He's planning on transferring to university to complete a degree in electrical engineering. And I know that Kyle will excel in whatever field he eventually chooses to work in. So one comment really quickly is that these certificates are also accompanied by a financial award. However, due to a snafu on my part, there's a delay on that, so the check's in the mail. But Kyle, please come up and let's give him some applause. Okay, so I'd like to turn it back to Sal. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Tom. He set the bar. All right, so now I want to call up the auto faculty to come up. All of them. Row 2. Come on, right? So the first one, will be Doug. He'll be presenting the next 5 awards.
All right. All right, first up, I don't remember which classes, which student went to. I think I know, but Jose? Jose in a couple of classes this past semester. He always, showed up ready to go, and when lab time came, he most of the time got right to work and did what was needed. And
Go over there so I can do that in the back.
oh, all right. So I think Jose got picked you for 228, the hybrid class. So his award should be a Fluke 87 multimeter.
So all of our students are getting scholarships in the form of actual tools that they can use in the industry.
Which is, we get them with our discount, so it's actually like 60% over the value, more bang for your buck.
It's funny, I think I had Jose in several classes last semester, I think 2 at least. And I see these names, and with the scheduling with automotive, it seems I get students for large chunks of time towards the end of their time here. So it's seems like I get to spend extra
Year.
time with them
You
because
do.
they're with me morning and afternoon, some students.
Most of them are a year with Doug
Yeah.
at the end, their capstone classes.
So made me think of that was next award to you is Joshua Warden, who again always showed up, ready to work, always eager to go, and made me think because we spent, I think,
20 hours a week.
yeah, several days we shared lunch together, class in the morning, class in the afternoon. We'd have lunch in the hallway or in the classroom. So again, also congratulations. And Josh gets the award for, I think it was manual drivetrains. Was that, so your award will be a Milwaukee Impact set. All right, here's a first graduate, Joaquin. It's one thing, you see them for those large amounts of time, and then when they finally complete, it's kind of sad to see them go, but got the honor, again with COVID, was able to actually be in person with Joaquin at his graduation, so that was a nice treat, and it was great to see him walk across that stage, so proud of him. But, all right, Francisco Flores. Francisco is one of the students that I only had for one class so far, but it was a great time to have him in class, and it was always fun to sit around and shoot the breeze with him as well. So, yeah, this is yours. So, Francisco was in my electronics class, so he'll also be getting a Fluke 87 multimeter for that. Gabby. Also had Gabby quite a bit this last semester. I think I still have one more class with you, right? Or two more. Two more. So she'll be around for a little while longer. But again, always students that show up ready to work and that are motivated, and you can see they're taking it seriously, and they're looking to better themselves for their career. It's always nice to have students in class that seem to care. So thank you.
That do care.
So if you just
I'll hold on. There's two. I have some of the newbies, so they usually start off with me. I remember Gabby in my 200 class, and she was first starting at Longo Toyota, and she was like her first automotive job. And now she's here with Doug, so it's trippy how fast things go. But we're with these guys about 20 hours a week. They're our family. So, Melanie McDunn, she was gonna come, she's not able to be here right now. I have pretty much, I look at students that have improved dramatically from when they've come in to when they've left the class. It's not always the one that does well, because they always do well. And it's the one that pushes and tries and gets a little more advanced, or needs that extra motivation to stay with it. So I was that student, so it helped me greatly. So that's kind of how we all gauge our awardees. So I have Melanie McDunn, Deepeng Powell, and Elias Schrader. So they're all gone right now, and I think Elias is on vacation because he's working.
yeah, he's on trip.
He's on a trip, so he could then go to another shop that I've sent him to. So we're always doing the shuffle with our students to make sure they got the right place, right position, and a good job. So you guys will all be hearing from us about a job coming up soon. So what do you want to do? Do you want to just take a picture for posterity? So we could post it? Oh, here, you guys hold it. There's three of you. There you go.
Okay, stand over there.
This is what we're used to at the shop. She's not yelling, safety classes!
Looks like you guys are the one who got that.
Yeah. There was a mix-up with one of the certificates, but I had one more that I wanted to announce. Jane, come on up. I had Jane in my transition to manual driveway class. So I always have to say, students that not challenge you, but challenge you in a way that always have insightful questions, and you can tell are paying attention and very invested.
Keeps you on your toes.
Keeps me on my toes.
Keeps
Jay had
everybody on
good
their
questions
toes.
after lectures, and he also, I think, shares the enjoyment of just taking something apart to see what's inside it. So we,
You could hold her.
yeah, we may have broken a few things, taken stuff apart, but hopefully we learned some stuff in doing it. So it was always a pleasure to have Jay in the class.
Let's see if the lady will turn around. Hi. There we go. Okay.
All right, so for my class, one of the students that
No
excel,
crying sound, no crying.
they're really, really good. Well, it is kind of sad because, well, with me, I get to see them when they begin for breaks and suspension, and then that's it. Like I see them in the shop, but I don't see them anymore like Doug does, or sometimes Wendy too. So yeah, sometimes I'm like, man, I should be teaching more classes, just like it's even a little bit longer. But it is really, we are proud every time we see them. Once they get all their certificates, or we get to see them walk across the stage at the award or the graduation ceremony. So for my last class, I just taught was spring 22, brakes and suspension. One of the students that stood out the most was Adam. Wanna come up? I really liked how he aligned his Mustang. Very creative. Somewhat a little unsafe, but it was very interesting and it's something I would have done too. That's why. Congratulations. Adam is going to be getting MIDI bag, which we use that to do brake flushes and power steering flushes, and also a power brake leading kit. So all these things, we ordered them, but we haven't received them. If not, we would have had them here today. Thank you, Adam. All right, Joel, you want to come up? He's going to be receiving the same thing. He was also, well, he was my student fall 21, right? He kept me on my toes. Him and Francisco, they were in a team together. And it just seemed like everything, all the tasks I would throw at them, they would just knock them down left and right. There was nothing I couldn't give them that they couldn't finish. There you go, congratulations. And then another student, I asked to print two because he got one for Doug and then one for my class, but Francisco, if you want to come up, bring your Unfortunately, they only printed one out, so. But he's going to also be getting
We're
the
recycling.
mini back and brake leader kit.
Francisco, she's got jobs for you already, okay? I heard it over here.
And then my last student, he couldn't make it. It's his name is Din. He actually graduated as well with Joaquin. But yeah, he was also one of the awardees for the certificate. All right, and then there's three more. These are the big ones. Do you want to do this first? All right, so for the first one, the scholarship was started 3 years ago. The name of the scholarship is Excellence in Automotive Technology. It goes to a student that always tried their hardest. They worked hard, they were always there. Anything we would tell them to do, they would do it. There was pretty much never a no, unless they weren't there. But they're going to be receiving $2,000 worth of tools. But Gustavo, you want to come up? We're very proud of him. He's also one that's finishing.
Graduated?
Yeah. Soon?
Thank you.
Well, you're done with your certificate, right?
One more class.
One more.
I haven't this summer. Ivy this summer, right? This one, the student already received their award and they had a ceremony, but figured why not recognize them again? They worked hard and earned it. So Diana. Diana had, she had been awarded the Boone Family Scholarship. She had gotten a toolkit with that, but congratulations.
Smile.
And then, I have another one. Liliana, took this up here. Hello. She's grown a lot. She was a lot shyer than me. So this is the Tournament of Roses Award, and it was pretty much established by Thomas McIntyre. I want to say about 30 now, maybe 28 years ago. So it's been a long time running. So I was a recipient, Rowena was a recipient. We have several recipients that are in the field still to this day. Some of these tools I still use and have to have repaired because they get so abused and used. But it's a metric tool set and it's a full set, so she'll be ready to work. This is what allowed me to work because I needed those tools to go work. And as soon as I got those tools, within 2 weeks I was working in the industry. So congratulations. And you will get to have the option to go visit the floats while they do their test drives, which is like at 6 in the morning on the streets when it's cold. They're being built currently, and so once they get the motors put in them, the job of the tournament float inspectors is to make sure they're safe on the road, that they don't overheat, the fans work, the fan for the driver, because they're all encased. It's pretty interesting because it's not a car at all. But you'll see an old Ford engine. You're like, that's an old Ford engine. But the contraptions are weird, the hydraulics and everything. So it's a big learning curve. But we'll see if we could get you into some of those events, and that way you could get a little piece of it. And once you do that, the Tournament of Roses is no big deal. You're like, I know what's under that. And then, it might hurt you a little bit where you don't want to, it's not like a ooh moment anymore. So, but congratulations. And welcome to the Tournament of Roses family.
So those are all the awardees. I want to thank all the students and their families, friends for coming. We do have the outside patio if you want to go outside and take pictures afterwards. There's still some food if you guys want some. I want to thank everybody that helped out, Tom, Wendy, Doug, Rex, Rowena, Pauline, Sonia. Everybody, thank you guys very much, Kevin. I really appreciate it. We couldn't have done this without all of us. And then the students too for showing up, because if not, I would have been speaking to an empty room. And Sophia too, she's over there.
Aww.
She helped carry all the heavy stuff. Thank you very much for coming. And yeah, if you guys want, let's go outside and take pictures.
Okay.
And we'll see you next year.
Yeah.